ahead on Daytime Buffalo. T-Mark Plumbing is here to tell us how you can get your home ready for springtime. And I take you out to the ball game with an exclusive look at what's new at the Bison Stadium. It's all coming up right here on Daytime Buffalo. Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to Daytime Buffalo. I'm your host, Chelsea Lavelle. Our first guest today is Ian Donnelly of T-Mark Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Ian, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Chelsea.
So tell me a little bit more about T-Mark Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, and what you guys do.
Yeah, so a family-owned, full-service heating and cooling company. Been here in Buffalo pretty close to 30 years.
Awesome.
We've grown now to about 70 total employees. Locations up here in the North Towns, in West Seneca, as well as Ellicottville, New York.
Now, we're really getting to that point now, although the weather sometimes tricks us, but it seems like we're getting to that real springtime, and it's upon us. So what are some of the routine things that you recommend doing and checking up on about service for this time of year?
Yeah, so we had one heck of a winter, Chelsea.
Yeah.
And, our mechanical systems certainly deserve a bit of a break. And with that break takes an opportunity to get in to do a full assessment. So having the experts from T-Mark come in to review all of your equipment, whether it is a boiler, a hot water tank, a furnace, even on the plumbing side, having a full assessment of the home done to make sure that it's as efficient as it should be, as safe as it should be, and as comfortable as should be, is important. Now's the time to do that. It's also, we're kind of in what we consider a shoulder month time period, right? So we're not, asking for high heat. We're not in air conditioning mode yet. Now's the time to take some time, have somebody come in to do a full assessment of your home.
Right, and you were saying this is around the time where people start thinking about those air conditioners too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we look at the forecast. I think we have some high 60s, you start to see the humidity start to creep up. We have a lot of people talking to us about, let's get on the schedule right now to get air conditioning systems installed. Heat pumps are certainly a topic now that people are interested in. So we're providing education about what are some options to, instead of just replacing a standard air conditioning system, potentially going with a heat pump air conditioning system, which provides a little bit of electric heat while also providing high efficiency air conditioning in the summertime.
And it's been a hard winter, like you said, and a lot of stress on those heating systems, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, throughout our community, there's houses of a variety of different sizes. Those houses have mechanical equipment in them which was installed by contractors of the past. Some of that equipment is oversized. Homeowners might experience the fact that their house heats up so quickly and then cools down very quickly. Maybe not enough airflow in specific vents. This is an opportunity to get someone in from T-Mark to assess all of that to help the home be more efficient, safe, and comfortable for the family.
Now, what are some ways that people at home can check their air conditioning systems to make sure it's operating properly before it's time to really get them kicking?
Yeah, for sure. So if someone's interested, I really recommend that they give T-Mark a call. We'll come out and we'll do a full assessment on the electrical components of the condenser outside. We'll make sure that the system is holding a charge. There's a refrigerant, which is in the coil, as well as the outdoor condensing unit, which is used to transfer heat from the home outside. All of that needs to be assessed. Chelsea, if a piece of equipment is not operating efficiently, it could cost a homeowner 20 to 30% more to operate, and that home may be receiving less cooling energy than the system is designed to provide.
Right.
So it's incredibly important to get all that looked at. Also, when you're installing a new piece of equipment, choosing the right contractor that will make sure that there's no bends or kinks in the line, that the system's going to be properly charged, that all of the equipment is fully matching, optimizes the system's performance and efficiency, saving you money and making you more comfortable.
Now, I know there's other things within the home that are really important to keep up to date, especially with all the storms. There are still leaves and residues. Is there any tips you have for some homeowners about things that they should be looking at that they can do themselves?
Yeah, so taking a full assessment of the home, if you have a system that's a high efficiency furnace that has PVC pipes that go out to the outside, making sure that they're clear of any type of debris or leaves, etc. If you have a sump pump in your home, making sure that that's operating properly. with all of the rain that we've had, and we've already had a bit of a very, very wet end of winter, early spring here, you know, making sure that those systems are operating properly. Our plumbing experts can come out to take a look at your sump pumps. You know, there's a lot of homes that just simply have an electric sump pump. Potentially adding a water backup sump pump could help prevent potential damages, especially there's a lot of homes that have their basements have been refinished. They've taken time, they've turned it into a gym, a school, a classroom, a church in some cases. Now's the time to have an expert come take a look at all of that.
The last thing you want is for flooding and damage down there. And we already know, like you said, it's been a wet one, and April, this is the month where you kind of can get a lot of those showers heading into the summer months. Hopefully for a lot of flowers, but you know.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
More flowers needed. So is there any other tips that you recommend, especially for people when they're calling you to talk about specific needs that they want from you? Or do you just kind of go in there and just do that full assessment?
We're pretty holistic, but part of that assessment is understanding where there are deficiencies inside of the home, right? So were there rooms that were exceptionally cold in the middle of the wintertime compared to others? Are there odors in the home that would want to be resolved? Are there excessive dust in the home that needs to be resolved? You know, a furnace is not only a system that provides your heating and your cooling, but it's also cleaning the air inside of the home. So if you're someone, talk about spring, that has issues with allergies, you know, you need to think about other options that can help improve the quality of the air, thus the quality of the health for everybody inside of that home. So have a list ahead of time. You know, what are some areas that the experts from T-Mark can help resolve to make you and the family more comfortable? A lot of houses have had renovations done. They've put new insulation in homes. They've done additions. They've kind of done some patchwork to get a ductwork here, a ductwork here. You know, there's systems that can be installed that provides specific zoned heating and cooling for homes, specifically heat pump solutions, those wall-mounted mini split systems, which I think we have some photos of as well.
Yes, so you've got everyone covered. So if you need the experts at T-Mark, you can find more of their services over at tmarkplumbing.com. And thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Chelsea.
Opening day for the Bisons is tomorrow. I stopped by Salem Field to find out what's new for you, the fans, to enjoy this season. Here's what the general manager at the Bisons had to say.
You know, we had a whole year to kind of plan for some new stuff here. Some of the cooler items we have, Alexandra's Pierogies are going to have a new concession stand behind home plate. In that same stand too, we're going to have a new kids meal. Salen's mini hot dog wieners with mac and cheese. That's going to be an exciting one. And we also have Big Deal from Labatt, that we're bringing back our Labatter days. We have our Friday Night Bash here back again too. So all of our events that we had done last year but couldn't do in its full capacity, I think people are going to be excited that all of those are back. Our Star Wars night will be back to what it normally was. We have the Marvel's Defenders of the Diamond. That was a new event last year. But we were able to bring our superhero night back, which people are used to from previous years. That will be coming back again this year. Marvel, so that's part of the Defenders of the Diamond program that we did. And so we have two events this year, one in May, and then our Defenders of the Diamond, but superhero night in September. But that was part of the whole agreement that Major League Baseball had with Marvel that brought all the minor league teams in. Everyone got a Marvelized logo that Marvel actually created one for every team, and based on sales, ours is if not number one, right up there in the top 2 or 3.
Opening day for the Bisons is tomorrow, April 4th. They will be gearing up against the Worcester Redcocks at 2:05 p.m. Coming up after the break, Hope Rises is back with a heartwarming story from within our community. And we hear from the Buffalo Educational Opportunity Center about how they share their wealth of knowledge for free. Stick around, that's coming up.